Monica Henderson, and Robert Bell. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise if you are able, kindly remove the patch, and join us in honoring America and those who serve and protect with the flag of our national anthem. Number 10, Julia Warren. Number 12, Tyler Sample. Number 13, Andrea Sims. Number 14, Anaya Powell. Number 15, Kennedy Worsham. Number 16, Destiny Johnson. Number 17, Rayleigh Horton. Number 24, Trinity Amy. Number 25, Aaron Wade. Number 27, Cassie Williams. And number 36, Junior Hackett. Rush is coached by Natasha Schwartz. And now let's move the starting lines for your Raiders of Shaker Heights. Number 2, senior Jasmine Hales. Number 3, freshman Nora Mays. Number 5, senior Eliana Rose. Number 6, sophomore Gabrielle Green. Number 7, senior Ava Fiesco. Number 8, senior captain Lisa Marino. Number 9, senior captain Gianni Roselle Smith. Number 10, Laura Perry, junior. Number 11, junior Tristan Hall. Number 12, freshman Ella Libro. Number 13, sophomore Audrey Ross. Number 14, junior Joel Gordon. Number 15, junior Benedetta Sandy. And number 16, senior captain Elise Bradley. Good luck to those.
Hello, Shaker Heights varsity volleyball fans, and welcome in to the Shaker Heights High School North Gym as the Shaker Heights Red Raiders will be taking on the Arcs of Brush High School here for the varsity game. Shaker 1 each of the freshman and JV games. Now here they are for the clean sweep. Can they make it 3-0 before the night is done? This game was originally set for 7 o'clock, but those games each push this one back. So here we are, Shaker looking for a 4-7 improvement on their record right now, sitting at 3-7. On the other side, they're 3-6. Those Brush Arcs looking for 4-6. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call from Shaker Heights High School. Your starting front three. There's actually going to be a freshman in front to start us off, and that is Ella Migro on the near side. In the middle of that front line, it's going to be number 14, the junior Joelle Burge. And on the far side is that number 16, Belize Bradley, the senior captain, D1 commit. On the backside, we have no one except for seniors. We have 3 straight seniors in the back line. Hopefully they can hold down the fort. Shaker Heights expected to win this one. We'll make sure that holds up. Of course, in that very first set of the JV game, all Shaker. Brush did compete a little bit more in that second set, but it's all about how you start off, and that's something Assistant Athletic Director Mark Eney told me before this game. Quickly a back and forth going well. That's better between a lot of the other JV games. But quickly, Brush is going to get the point to start us off. 1-0 to their side. In JV and freshman volleyball, it's first to 2 winning sets. Here it's first to 3, best of 5. There, Belize with a strong spike, and that's what gets her D1 to James Madison University. Strong spike. Volleyball goes all the way into the corner of the gym, and we're evened up. Belize Bradley, the one to serve after the winning point. And the tall might of Bradley will get it over. That was something that each side did struggle with a little bit in those JV games. Of course, varsity, a whole new sport. However, there the Arc's going to win the point. Bradley getting subbed out. And that serve looks out. Will it be? Indeed it will be. Scoreboard shows 2-2. That is where we lie here in this first set, off to a good start. Now we're actually going to have a third of the players being freshmen. Here comes Nora Mays, number 3 on the back of her jersey, the freshman. And a strong serve. That one looked out at first to the woman in white over there on the Brush side, number 10. That libero player didn't see that coming. Thought that one would be just a bit outside the white line. Of course, here we're following the white lines, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's some black lines on this court, considering it is used for basketball and other such sports. We're looking at the white lines today, and here, Brush cannot save the point, and Shaker doubles them up 4-2. Thank you very much for tuning in. First volleyball broadcast of the season. There, a good tip over. Did someone touch the netting? It looks like it was Shaker's front 2. There was either Green or Migro. I believe it was more than likely the latter. Number 10 of Brush is going to be the one to serve it. And a strong one it is. Short player, strong arm for the serve. And there, number 8 in yellow, looking for the spike, or more so really a tap to just send it right over the net, over the line of 3 in front for the Raiders. Couldn't get it done. Here's Migro's serve, and that's out in front. And number 10 on the back line for Brush once again. Did not estimate where that one would end up, at least not successfully. And we move 6-3. Shaker's still doubling them up. Can they work that lead a little further? Indeed they can. Tips off the top of the net, and Migro continues her streak. 7-3 through our first 10. Shaker off to a good start. Looked a little rocky in that beginning, but now they've begun to separate away. That time hits the net. Maybe I spoke too soon. 7-4 we go. Number 3 of Brush. Gonna send this one right to oh my goodness, Shaker with a quick point. Didn't get enough time to get my words out. That time it was Jasmine Hales. Who did a lot of the effort there, right off the serve, recovered, helped her team out. Lucy Vortruba, heavy spike into the back line. Brush continues to recover. Right now, Shaker up 8-4. Where will they call it? They'll call it line. Shaker gets the point, 9-4. So now the serve will go to Gabrielle Green, the sophomore. A lot of underclassmen carrying on large loads for this team. And why not? If they are quality players, you can make varsity. And that time it'll be in. Shaker with another solid spike at the line. And now they're up 10-4. Shaker 2/5 of the way there to winning this first set. The serve will remain with Green, with the 2 freshmen in front of her as we continue. Mays sets this one up. Vortruba with a spike hit off of an arc right in front of her, and it'll hit down to the court. Shaker continues to build this lead more and more as time goes on. They're up by 7 here in the first set. Another strong serve by Green, and this is what you want to see. That's the difference between Brush and Shaker. Their serves have been so much more direct, low to the court, and that's so much harder to get a hand on. Especially in JV, it was a big difference between Shaker and Brush. It was that height of the serve. Mays sets this one up. The spike, number 27 recovers for Brush. There, a trickery play. Was looking like she was going to set it up. Instead, she sets it right over the net. Point to Brush. They're up by 7. Or excuse me, Shaker's up by 7. (12-5). Here's the serve from number 2. And a good dive from the back left corner of the Shaker side. There, a good spike, but a better block for Shaker. And it looks like number 5 of Brush touched up on the netting as well, and now Shaker gonna get a couple of substitutions. In comes Williams. And in comes Burge. With that, out comes Perry and out comes Mays. The junior and freshman now out. Williams, good serve. That one had a bit more arc to it, but nothing doing. And that time, number 5, hesitant to get too physical with the netting, and I mean, that is part of the game, but first things first, you gotta make sure you can get contact with the ball. Didn't let either happen that time. Shaker up by 9 now, make it 10. As number 10 for Brush. Couldn't get a hand on it. Bolting forward to try and make the play. Ball swooped right by her. Williams, the senior, gonna keep piling on points if she can. The jump up, and here it comes. And height, really the differing factor there. Number 10. Really struggling with these balls coming up high at head level. And she's not going backwards on the ball to try and get it with the hands. Instead, she's trying to hit it way up high, and that's just not the right volleyball technique. Their Shaker with their 17th. They're up by 12. Can Williams keep it up? Unfortunately not. Straight into the netting, but it's all right. She built this lead up to 11. This serve goes right to Hales. And there, Belize Bradley just trying to get a little too fancy with it. Sometimes in volleyball, it's not all about your build or your height. Sometimes it's about what you're going to do next and what play you're going to make next. It's an IQ thing. That's what brought Bradley in the D1 level. And that point awarded to Shaker, scraped off of an arc right in front of the netting. So it's Vortruba, another senior. And Vortruba sends this one right into the netting. Right now, all upperclassmen but one. And that's a freshman, Migro, in that back right corner. Here comes the serve. Williams. The set to number 14, Burge. And that's how you do it. That's just good volleyball right there. The set, the spike. They tried to block it, no can do. Point goes to Shaker. They're up 11, 19-8 here in the first set. The Arcs really struggling. And again, these teams both share an equal amount of wins. Again, this is per Max Preps. We know they can be wrong, but typically they give you that reliable data. Each have 3 wins. Shaker just with one more loss, and that time the block goes out of bounds. Shaker with another point. 5 more till they win this set. Brush, well, they need a lot more than that. They're going to need 17 to get back into this one. Belise Bradley getting ready for the serve. And here it comes. Beautiful direct serve. Can Brush keep it alive? No. Goes right into the scorer's table. The referee smiles and picks this up from the guys helping out with the scoreboard. Right in the line of fire down there. Shaker 4 more to win this set. Here it comes. And this one gonna make its way over to Burge on the other side of the netting. Can Migro get it back? Oh, blocked. Great recovery by Migro. That time, bit of a whiffed upon spike over the net, so Shaker sticks with it. Here's another good spike, great back and forth. Shaker up by 13, trying for 14. Brush just trying to stay alive in the set. This spike goes out of bounds. Did it come off of? Did it tip off of Shaker? No. They're up by 14. 22-8 goes your score. And here comes an awkward-looking spike. Just got by Bradley and Vortruba. They smile this one off. They're only 3 points away from winning the set. But you can't lose concentration now. These are what movies are made of, these kinds of comebacks. It's not looking likely, but you never know. And this one head level for Vortruba, and it'll land right next to her. Might have hit off of the ceiling, but I don't believe it did. If so, they call the point dead right there. Give it to the opposite team. So, Brush shortens the lead, but it's still hefty at 12, and this serve goes right into the netting. 23-10 here in the first set. Mays comes back in, Burge comes out. Williams also comes out, Perry comes in. For the serve here, it'll be the freshman Mays. Here it comes. And this one, again, head level are these serves, and the back line just will not back up. They run towards the ball, which makes it that much more difficult for you. Here comes this one. Got to get this one over on the bump. They do just that. Good set by Mays. And there, a bit of a trickery play. Mays saves it right there. Migro, do the freshmen get it done? Indeed they do. The set goes to Shaker. They're a third of the way there. Shaker up by 1 set. It is 1-0. We'll be back for the second after this short break. We get a timeout between the first and second set. My name is Vaughn Ullum here on the call. Thanks for joining in. Well, out of the break, Shaker with the lead. They're up 1-0. They won that first set 25-10. Shaker as a whole, their volleyball program, 5-0 on sets. Didn't lose a set in freshman, didn't lose a set with the JV team. Here they are in varsity, already up 1-0, looking for a clean sweep. Maybe they can make it 7-0 before the night is done with that. But who knows? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Shaker's only up 1-0. Let's see if they can make it 2-0 here. And typically at 2-0, it means the other team with the 2-0. That's going to be the team that wins. Typically, that's how it goes, especially here in high school ball. We'll see if that holds. You saw there the first point go to right there. Second point goes to Shaker. It feels like Brush might be a little too spread out. There, at least, it seems so. It's either that or they're too close to the ball when it comes. Like there. Little too out in front. Luckily, they did get it over there. Brush losing another point as it falls right within the court. Down 3-0 now. Shaker needs to keep this momentum alive. Luckily, Brush's bench continues to try and amp up their team, but it's difficult when you're down now 1 set and down 3-0 in the second set. Here's the spike. Strong one. Who touched the netting? Brush did. Another point goes Shaker's way. That time on the spike, number 14, Joel Burge, the junior, makes it a 4-0 point lead here in the second set. Shaker hanging with Lucy Vortruba. And with another serve, can she continue the streak? Here's a hard spike. Good block right in front. Can they save the point here? Shaker cannot. Hit right to Jasmine Haley's. Just couldn't get elevation back under it. Point goes to Brush, their first of the new set. Their strong serve, really the strongest we've seen from Brush so far. Good save by Vortruba there. This one's going to go to Brush, but they touched the netting out in front once again. That very well could have been Shaker's point had they not, but that's been a real area of concern. The JV side too, but in varsity, you got to get that kind of thing cleaned up. 5-1, Shaker lead. Vortruba sends this one up. Burge with the spike. It won't phase Brush, not yet. This one's sent over to the black and red. That time, nothing you can do there. Brush, just the right place, the right time. Elise Bradley, the one in front of it. This time to serve it, it'll be number 10 of Brush. Strong serve once again, number 10. Good at serving, there's no doubt about that. And here, there's just another fundamental thing that Brush just needs to get down. You need to call for the ball so you don't have two people crashing into each other like you see there. Here, 2 substitutions. In comes Williams. And in comes number 10, Nora Perry. Good serve from Williams. That spike looks like it'll be out. Will it be? Oh my goodness. Are they giving that to Shaker? That looked like line. I believe Shaker thought it was as well. But Shaker will take the point, at least from up here. That definitely looked like it was on that line. Which, of course, if you don't know volleyball, that's in. That time it looked like line. This time Brush is going to get the point. 7-3, same way we started off the last set, set number 1. Shaker's up 7-3 through the first 10 points. Thank you very much for tuning in here at the Shaker Heights High School. Shakers looking good against these brush arcs, but can they keep it up? Eliana Williams recovering for the team. Migro with a good spike. That freshman is looking good on these spikes. We saw it in practice. We see it again there. I mean, holy cow. Number 12, Ella Migro. A freshman that is really making a difference. Right out in front. But this time, she's going to be placed way in the back, as it's going to be a serve situation for her. Shaker up 8-3 in the points here in the second set. They're up 1-0 in their sets. That time, Brush going to get the point off the serve. So Migro not doing well on the serve there, gives the ball back over. However, again, the serves are where she comes in handy. That time, great recovery by number 10 of Brush. Was it still in? Oh, it looks like no. Point given over to the Arcs. Looked as though the referees in blue were letting that one play out for a bit, but now they did give that point over to Brush. That school out in Lyndhurst, really on the border of South Euclid and Lyndhurst. That point going to Brush once again. Brush with a bit of a streak here as they have cut this deficit down to 2. Can they keep it this way? We'll see. Here comes another serve from number 2. That time a good set, but Bradley just puts a bit too much oomph on it. Out it goes, out the back line of the volleyball court. That time a very high arcing serve, but that time the set just goes a little bit awry. And that time it looks as though a Brush player ran right into the netting again. Without it, they would have taken this to a tied game. And number 5, clearly frustrated, looking over at the coach. What do you want me to do at this point? But the referee sees what he sees. He calls what he calls, especially when you're right up against the netting as you are. You can typically see better than just about anyone else in the gym. That time, the serve right into the netting. Brush gets the ball back with a chance to even this one up at 9-9. Can they do just that? Bradley comes out. It's time set situation for Williams. There's the spike from Vortruba. The school from Lyndhurst keeps it alive. Now it's Shaker's chance once more. Brush sticking with it. Back and forth we go. That time, a good set and a punch, really. Right into 2 arcs along the 3-point line of this gymnasium. And that's not exactly the technique they teach you, but if you get the point, you get the point. No one's really complaining about it. A punch down on the floor, and Shaker gets the point. They're up 10-8. Good serve that time. Goes right under the press box with that one. Went right off of number 10. Again, just hit it in an awkward spot. Here comes Nora Mays, the freshman once again, with a solid serve. And there's the set upwards. Will it work? Yes, it will. The spike right into a block in front of the netting, but the block couldn't get it done. As it goes, it shuffles right between the netting and the player adjacent. Shaker up by 4 here in this set. Mays with another serve. And that one looked like it could have gone out of bounds, but Brush, and again, we saw this in the JV squad, they really don't like trusting that it's going to go out of bounds. Just not something that they have been doing. So Mays with another chance. This one sent up, too much on it. It'll go right back to the Shaker side, and a good spike immediately by number 6, Gabrielle Green. the sophomore. We're going to step aside. Timeout taken by the Brush Arcs. Shaker up 14-8 here in set number 2. Shaker winning the sets 1-0. Thank you for joining. My name's Vaughn. I'm on the call here from Shaker. Shaker up 6 here in set number 2. 14-8 is this set, and, well, that'll make it 15-8. Shaker won set number 1, 25-10. Brush clearly growing into the game, but still it's a struggle, like right there. We see once again the ball just way up on the back line. It's really head height for a lot of these players. But that time, Mays sends that one a little out in front of number 10. One of the members of the back line. She needs to dive, and away it goes into the Shaker stands. Referee had to get out of the way, really, of that one. Had to duck his head. That time, good recovery by the Brush front line. But can Shaker get it done? Looks like it will. It stays in. 18-8 goes set 2. Shaker winning 10-1 in the last 11 points. Make it 11-1 in the last 12. I mean, this is some kind of run that you rarely even see in basketball. But here we are in a much different scoring game. We're seeing that 11-1 run led by Nora Mays. The freshman continues to dominate on these serves. Here's a spike. Can Shaker recover? Indeed, it's the other freshman, Migro. And that time a punch once more. These punches aren't helping out Brush as Shaker moves into point number 20 here in the second set. They're up 20-8. Again, 2 freshmen on that back line, but it's working well. That one tipped off the top of the netting. Nora Mays continues the streak. 13-1 in the last 14 points. This one popped up, and Brush can't do anything about that. It'll go over their bench seats. I mean, what are you going to do there? You're not going to dive over. You can't hurt yourself that way. 14-1 run. Nora Mays back to it. That one barely missed the netting. Here can Shaker get another point there. A whiffed on try from number 2 on the back line. Number 10 looks hurt. In the back near side corner, coach not taking her out yet, but she doesn't look like she's having a lot of fun, at least not physically. Can Shaker win another block battle out in front of the net? Indeed. 16-1, your last 17 points. Finish it off, Nora Mays. Here it comes. They're a trick set over the net. Here comes Vortruba's spike. Right back to number 10. This time, did Brush hit the net? Indeed, they did. 17-1. the last 18 points of that second set. We'll talk more about that second set. All we know right now, Shaker winning 2-0 in these first two sets. Can they get the clean sweep and make it 3-0? We're about to find out. There's no reason why they can't now unless they put their foot off the gas. Momentum is all Shaker right now. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back here from the Shaker Heights High School. We're through two sets. 2-0. Shaker leads. Why not make it 3-0? Close this one out early. Shaker has won their freshman game 2-0, the set there. 2-0 the sets in the JV game, and now here we are 2-0 the sets in the varsity game. The difference is you need 3 to win in the varsity game. Brush just needs to clear the last two sets out of their mind. They lost that last game on a losing stretch of 17 points to 1. Nora Mays really leading the charge on that second set, or at least the final stretch of that second set. I mean, the freshman on the serves, really dominant. Here it's Lucy Vortruba taking the sets into her own account as we started off. And again, the technique just not really there. Number 5 really punching it out of the air to try and send it over to Shaker's side of the court. When Shaker does it, it's out of desperation there. Not really a need to do that, but done anyway. Eliana Williams, good save. Burge sends this one back over to the Brush side. Shaker just a lot better in the pressure situation. Now that I say that, they lose the point. They're up, however, 2-1 here in the third set. Hopefully, for Shaker's sake, what will be the final set. Negro sends this one upwards to Williams. Williams to Burge. Burge, out of desperation, sends this one up into the air. Shaker needs to get this one back over, and they do. Does this one end up out? No, it's on the line. Just barely in by the standards of the referee in blue along the corner. We're tied up at 2-2. Granted, that second set was close for a while. Again, Shaker was only up 8-7 at one point. But then that 17-1 stretch, Shaker won the set 25-8. There, a spike right into your own side of the netting. Won't get the job done. Belise Bradley right into the near netting. First lead of this third set for Brush. Looking to expand on it. I don't believe they've led by more than 2 points in a set so far. This one ends up out. The Brush coach thinking it hit one of the fingertips of the Raiders in the front line. The referee just doesn't agree. We're evened up 3-3 in set number 3. Brush coach growing a little frustrated. Belise Bradley here with the serve. 2 players colliding right into each other. It looked like it should have gone to number 10, the girl in white. She seems to be growing frustrated as well. Shaker's serve once more. Once again, it's that issue of running right up to the ball instead of backing up to get the better hit on the ball. That's just something they've got to work on mentally to just get out of this funk. But right now, you're in the final set. Feels a little bit too late, or what could be the final set. But right now, it's looking like it will be as Shaker takes point 6. Brush only to 3. 6-3, Shaker leading. And now we're going to get a timeout called. Brush needs to talk things over about a couple different things. Shaker just needs to keep on doing what they're doing. We'll be right back. Shaker up 6-3 here in set number 3. Vaughn Ullum on the call from Shaker. Shaker winning the third set, 6-3 in points. They won the first 2 sets. Looking for the clean sweep. And that time, again, players just colliding into each other. That time on the front line. We've seen it on the back line. We've seen it everywhere on the court. And just like the other 2 sets, Shaker starts the first 10 points by leading 7-3. Odd how that works out. But let's just say these 2 teams are consistent. That serve way out in the back line. Brush will take a point. It's 7-4. After this game, Shaker will remain here at home. They'll play Euclid on Thursday. Will that time, will it end up out the back? No. The point goes to the arc, 7-5. But Shaker stays here at home. They're going to be taking on the Panthers of Euclid. Now here, a rotational issue, says the referee. Not sure what the issue was. Nothing changes, and now they're set. There we go that time. Ball almost hitting the referees. Strong streak from Brush. Volleyball can be just that, a very streaky game. We see it in all levels of the game. We saw it in the Olympics earlier this summer, men or women. It can be a streaky game like that. This one bumped over. The set, the spike, and the spike doesn't work. Number 3 spikes it right into her side of the netting. Shaker up 8-6. We're going to get a couple substitutions. Williams out. In is Perry. Burge the one to serve it. Bit of a higher serve than some of the teammates. However, it still gets the job done. Negro sets this one up for Perry. That time, desperation dive goes nowhere except right into the coach. The coach is out of bounds, ladies and gentlemen. Not one of your teammates. We go 9-6. Shaker leads. Looking to have a clean sweep of sets through freshman, JV, and varsity. They would make it 7-0 as Brush heads back to Lyndhurst. Oh, that one is high. Was it on the line? It was. Just barely. Does Burge keep that one in? But it does. And that's what matters. Volleyball just sitting there outside of bounds. Eventually we'll get it back to the hands of Joel Burge, the junior, looking to keep the streak. Was that out of bounds this time? Yes, indeed it was. The Brush back line doing better at that. Just letting it go out of bounds when you need to. Mays comes in. Perry comes in. Mays with the set. The freshman to freshman. Mays keeps it alive. This time to Vortruba. Back and forth we go. In spite of the desperation moves being needed, Shaker gonna win this time. Again, these high pressure situations, Shaker tends to get the better of. We'll get a substitution. Number 27 in for 3 on the Brush side. Negro struggled with her serving attempt last time. She's better at spiking it right in front of the line. This time, it'll be good. However, Shaker won't get the point. 11-9. Or excuse me, 11-8. Shaker's next game against Euclid again here at home. It'll be their 4th Greater Cleveland Conference game here this fall season. Vortruba slaps this one over the netting. Here's another set right to her. Good connection from Mays to Vortruba, but still Brush on top of things, and the front line earns another point. 11-9, Shaker leads. The deficit is continuing to be shrunk. Shaker currently 1-2 in the GCC. Just trying to get a final thought out there about this next game. That point goes to Shaker as it's out of bounds on the serve. But so far, Shaker had 3 GCC games. They were each in a row, the 27th, the 29th, and the 3rd. That stretch, of course, between the end of August and the beginning of September. There, a phenomenal spike. The height coming in clutch that time. Belize Bradley, solid spike. Could see where nobody was. Sends her right there. The big empty spot in the middle of the court. That's how you play the game. Shaker, 1-2 in the GCC so far. They lost to Menor 3-0. They lost to Strongsville 3-0. But they beat Cleveland Heights 3-1. Looking to keep that winning streak going against Euclid that time. Another good spike. And that number 10 on Brush continues to look like she is hurting. The coach just will not take her out. And I'm sure no matter what, if you're an injured athlete, you tend to have that mentality of, oh, I'll stick through it. But I mean, she has just not been looking happy out there for a while now. That serve right into the referee. And now this time, number 10 comes out. Right decision for the coach. Coach is going to check up on her as well. Shaker going to take their opportunity, get us a couple substitutions as well. Looks like it's number 10's elbow. And yeah, she looks like she's hurting. Can't imagine she'd come back in, especially Shaker, only 10 points away from winning the game. Here comes Burge. Strong spike off the top of the netting. It'll fall forward. Shaker with another 16-10. They are winning the set, and they're winning sets overall 2-0. Only 9 more points. Shaker takes home a W. Moving them to 4 and 7, but they got to close it out first. Here's a spike a little bit behind the front line player, number 5. Williams with a set over the netting. Here's another spike by number 5 and a good block by Joelle Burge. Shaker winning these small battles up front. They're winning serves. I mean, Shaker really has just been the better team here tonight. I don't think there's much of a way to get around that if you're Brush. Williams sends this one up. That time a good set. Once again over. We've seen that trick play work numerous times for Shaker. We've seen it work, I believe, only once for Brush. Now we're actually getting the athletic trainer looking over that one player for Brush. Hopefully she is all right. But yeah, can't imagine she'll return back into this game, especially considering Shaker keeps on making plays like that with the D1 James Madison University commit. Eliana Williams still on the serves. Here it comes. Odd little serve. Kept low to the ground. Belize Bradley going to take the opportunity there to spike it. Just doesn't work out, but eventually it's continued to work out for Shaker here tonight as they have them doubled up 20-10. And we've got 5 more points, 5 more Shaker points till the end of this game. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. We'll be right back. Shaker up 20-10 here in set number 3, 2-0 into 2 sets already. Vaughn Ullum on the call here from Shaker Heights. We're back to it. Williams with the serve. Bit of a high serve, but nothing that Shaker can't recover from. Brush couldn't even get it back over the net. So Shaker will gladly take the point. They're 4 away from winning this game. They won the first set 25-10. They won the second on a final run of 17-1. They won that second set in total 25-8, and right now it's 22-10 in this third set. Shaker volleyball is looking solid. This one sent upwards on the bump. There, the spike, but the spike back, and it'll end up out of bounds. So this is actually improvement for Brush. This is the highest amount of points they've gotten in a set so far. here in this set of varsity 3 sets. The serve for Brush, and once again, just a difference in their serves. That one just a lot taller, and it looks like Shaker touched up on the netting there. Shaker only 3 points away from winning set 3 and winning the game overall. They take this game 3-0 in sets. Here's another serve, another tall one. Lucy Vortruba, a strong spike. Gets another one, 23-12, 2 away. Vortruba was working for herself to really get the opportunity to serve, and now she'll get it on her strong spike. Vortruba, number 8, sends this one over right under the press box. We go again as a bump goes awry. Shaker has them doubled up, and well, now if you're Brush, you have no option but to win 13 in a row to try and get back in the game. But it's not looking likely. 24-12, last chance. Vortruba sets this one up. Williams, Migro, and beautiful. Shaker with the win. Here we'll see the handshakes for a moment. Shaker won the freshman games 2-0. They won JV 2-0. And now here they won varsity 3-0. So again, Shaker wins this one 3-0 in their sets. They'll move on to a GCC opponent, that Greater Cleveland Conference. Right now, they're 1-2 in the GCC. Because they lost to Strongsville, they lost to Menor, but they beat that big rival of Cleveland Heights. They'll take them on later in the season, but for now they're looking forward to Euclid. Those Panthers are their next opponent, and Shaker now improving to 4-7. They just need to keep that momentum moving forward. They've had some tough losses against those other GCC opponents like Strongsville and Menor. They lost in 3 sets like Brush did right here. It was not a pretty affair. Shaker just needing to know that they can do it like they did right here. 2 different teams, but the same game. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here on the call. Shaker wins varsity volleyball in 3 sets. Go Raiders.